Don't do this at home. Oh, that sounded good. That's gonna be nice. Hold on.
I gotta smell it, Jeff.
Okay, you can smell it.
Yeah.
You can hear it. Now it's not gonna smell as good as that water.
Oh,
what do you think?
it's tempting. It actually is.
Well, I don't want it to tempt you. This is not. Oh, hold on here. Oh, hang on. We're going all over the place with this. Here, we don't want it to tempt anybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this as far away from you as possible. Welcome to the Artisan Series. Today we're talking about cables. Kind of an important thing. Why, you may ask? Wi-Fi is not everything yet. And right now, all the good stuff still runs on cables. But are you picking the right ones and the best ones available? Let's cover it today with Ice Cable and Architechne.
Now, like with our other episodes, we're going to be doing a rating system, but it's going to be a little bit different. And on our 4th of July, we're going to be rating different fireworks, but with a twist. We're actually going to be shooting the ice cable box to test for durability. But before we do that, Tim, can you quickly explain a bit about cables, what ice cable is, and the box that ice cables come in, and why is this thing so dang durable?
Yeah, my name is Tim Untalan. I'm with Ice Cable Systems. We are a low voltage wire manufacturer. Many people don't even know this, but there are cable inside the wall or, inside the drywall. Telecommunication wires, speaker cables, you name it. It's really important to not only have a cable that performs to the highest standard possible, but also passes all the safety standards that UL or Underwriters Laboratory also, has in effect. So, that's a little bit about cable and why they're important. I don't know about you, and I imagine so, but in my own residence, I want something that, operates to a high standard, right? Why would I want to put something within my walls that's A, not even safe, or 2, doesn't perform to the standard that I want it to, right? So, with high performing cables such as ice cable, the homeowner is going to be getting all that performance that they need, right? So we don't cut any corners in terms of the amount of copper that is,
I know all about it from you.
Exactly.
But and I want to make sure that we're clear with people too, Tim, is that we're not talking about a pair of, one of our other high-end partners for luxury audio is AudioQuest. And you guys play very nicely together because we don't do a ton of infrastructure with AudioQuest, but we do a bunch of high-end wiring with them. We're not talking about a pair of Dragon cables that are 8 feet long that are $45,000. Mm-hmm. The incremental cost to go out to a better infrastructure wire is very minimal, and it's nominal to your whole budget. And so, we talk a lot about this in the episode, so I can't wait to get into it. But without further ado, let's go to level 1.
Welcome to another beautiful Artisan Series episode. Of course, this time with Ice Cable. And it happens to be in the month of 4th of July. So we are out here in the back of the lab. Thank you. Let me get these things on. This is good. Thank you, One Chain. We're in the lab because we wanted to bring the ice cable boxes to the actual limits of what they're capable of. So in true Architechne fashion, also coupled with the fact that it is the month of July and we're celebrating our independence, we're gonna blow up. So the first of 3 is a tank. We start big. Actually, we start a lot smaller. So the first of 3, and this is gonna be a pass or fail situation. The tank is going to go shoot 3 rounds at this wonderful box of ice cable. And if it passes, it passes. That was ridiculous. Okay.
Can we get an inspection?
Hold on. Full inspection. Ice cable. Pass. I'd love to get into what makes you special, what makes you unique, and kind of our partnership and why you guys are with Architechne.
Sure. So ICE cable started in 2004. There was a couple of things that we wanted to address in the marketplace. The first one being, Jeff, you've been in this industry for a while. You know that.
Look at my hair.
Well, back in the day, installers, they were dealing with boxes that were very lackluster, let's say. So, these guys would be on a job site, they would lift up the box by the handles would rip, the cable would nod as they're pulling. It just wasn't ideal. And so we wanted to address all of these issues and really make it, our own ICE cable. So as you can see here from the box is very tough. I mean, it's made out of 24 kilogram burst tested cardboard. It's also water resistant as well. So, here in Minnesota, how it snows and it rains often, you can leave the box out in the elements and it won't be compromised.
Are you willing to put this to the test today?
Yeah, if it's going to be raining.
Well, I was going to take some of your clear whiskey here and dump it on the box and then stand on it.
Sure.
Well, the elements are the elements, brother.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can do it anywhere.
Right, if we're out there in the elements, it's like,
Yeah.
right?
Look, it's
what are we
good.
doing? Hold on. Now I'm 240. Wow.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. We get a little flex. Here.
Yeah.
That's special.
And you see how the water just kind of,
It
beads
rejects
up
it.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
Just slides right off.
Wow. Yeah, this is a good product. So good. Yeah.
So we covered the box. We covered Relex and why that's important. It also comes down to quality, right? Quality and safety standards. So ICE is known for quality. You can pull this cable and test it. It's going to pass all the time, 10 out of 10 times. All of our cables also UL certified and listed, which passes all of UL's stringent safety process standards. So there's UL and ETL. And basically the differences here are UL, you're subject to random inspections, and ETL, all you have to do is send one sample of your product out to ETL to get verified. And so that's a big standard for us, and we put the UL sticker on every single box that we ship out.
From your perspective, what's the competitive advantage between ICE cable and other manufacturers?
When we talk about the entire experience of the installer in the field, we're talking about loading boxes into the truck, taking them out, throwing them on the ground, downstairs. So the box is obviously something that we take pride in. The other thing too is we discussed Relex. The installer out in the field, or the tech, they want to focus on actually pulling the cable instead of having to sit there and untangle things. So if you can go into the job knowing that the cable isn't going to tangle, I mean, that's a competitive advantage already.
Here's level 2. This is the world's most dangerous fountain available in other states. Actually, can't even get it here. It's illegal. No, we don't do illegal things here, of course. This is actually from John's personal collection. So we're going to shoot the rubber ducky fountain at the box, and we'll see if we get a pass or fail. John, you're ready to jump on it if the fire's too big?
Ready.
Excellent. Let's see what happens here. This is not a good, this is probably where it ends. That wasn't a fountain.
Yeah, let's get some.
Water! Need water? All right, let's see if this thing survived.
Did it even get hit? That's the bigger question.
Oh, it got hit one time. Right there. Survived.
Pass?
Pass. A lot of this stuff, tech stuff, extremely important. Quality of the cable important. Why it's special, important. But let's bring it down on what this means to you. Right now, we speak with many builders that we have partnerships with, of course, end users too. And everything is Wi-Fi. It's all magical. Everything happens through wireless technology. I have to tell you up front, this is 100% not accurate. If you're building a new home right now, you're doing a big remodel and your walls are open, it's the perfect time to run infrastructure in your home for wiring, whether it's Cat6, speaker wire, fiber, whatever it may be. And so I would like to talk a little bit about that. I'm sure you heard a ton of misconceptions about how everything is wireless or wiring doesn't matter in a home. And I got to tell you, I've heard a lot of it too, and I think we've got to put our foot in the ground here and put a line in the sand.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Jeff. Look, when it comes down to our industry, whether it be telecommunications or networking, speakers, everything runs off of cable, right? You can do Wi-Fi only, but it's not really ideal, right? And when it comes down to the cabling itself, since it is such a pivotal part of how things perform, you need to make sure you're using a quality cable. Let's take our Cat 6, for instance. It's a staple in this industry. Many integrators use Cat 6, right? Let's take 1,000 feet of ICE Cat 6 versus 1,000 feet of, X competitor. If you weigh out ICE Cat 6, and I'm not talking about with the box, I'm just talking 1,000 feet of our cable, just bare. 1,000 feet of our cable versus 1,000 feet of a competitor's cable, you'll notice a weight difference. Well, why is ICE cable a little bit heavier than the competitor? Well, it just so happens that a lot of these other manufacturers aren't being truthful with the product that they put out there. There's a term that we like to use called copper shaving, and think about it. Over 1,000 feet of cable, a 23 gauge cable, there's not a lot of copper really there to work with. So when you shave even a small amount off of that over 1,000 feet, it equates to pounds of copper. It really does. And not only that, if you're putting this inside someone's walls, you can run into networking issues, right? So, we don't play that game. We're all about quality at ICE Cable, and you pay for what you get for.
We could walk through the scare tactic, if you will. I don't want to scare anybody, but the reality is this, and you know this, and you've probably seen this. If you're pulling, well, first of all, if you don't pull any wire in your brand new home, huge mistake.
Yep.
If you're building a new home, make sure you pull yourself some infrastructure wire. Every TV location should have a couple of Cat 6s and a fiber if you want to future-proof yourself. Every zone of audio in the home should have some in-ceiling wire for speaker wires.
Yep.
And then, of course, there's a list of other things. Make sure you talk to your local integrator. Your electrician or home builder will not know. Let's just start with that. They will not know. So you need to talk with the integrator to do it the right way. But the things that I've seen that go awry, if you will, when the bad wires are ran in the wall, or the cheap, inexpensive wires are our competitors, or your competitors specifically. I've seen network dropouts.
Sure.
I've seen corrosion on wire for speaker wires, especially when sometimes they're ran outdoors.
Yep.
I've seen fiber that never actually works, and actually there's one particular manufacturer that doesn't even exist anymore because of it. That made pre-made fiber lines that were really popular for a bit, and they went away. And so if you want to make sure that your audio video signals are going to get to where you want them to get to for the lifetime of the home and when you're going to be there and your family, you want to make sure your Wi-Fi never drops or has issues. Make sure you run good quality cables. If you want to make sure that your video or your audio distribution, whatever it may be, will last and work for the time of the home that you're going to be in it, 20, 30, 50 years, whatever it may be, I feel like ICE cable is the only way to go. Maybe I'm wrong.
Jeff, I would agree. Obviously I work for ICE Cable, so I'm always going to push ICE Cable, but...
You're not going to recommend another brand?
No.
I mean, there's some good ones.
There's not. Don't listen to them. I'm just kidding. But look, Jeff, at the end of the day, quality is what we're all about, right?
Technology has become an integral part of the home space, and this is just not something you want to skimp on. And so, if you're working with your builder that says this stuff doesn't matter, you need to push back, because this stuff does matter. And the stuff that we sell on a regular basis, the client is extremely happy with, they're satisfied with, and it all starts with good infrastructure wiring. Good Cat 6, good speaker wire, good fiber, and the list of other things going. We're not going to get into Lutron Homeworks and things like that, but it's extremely important. So make sure you talk specifically with your builder and your integrator about the technology that's being deployed in your home. Don't do this at home. I thought it survived to begin with. With the little smoke thing?
Jeff right here. Jeff right here.
Hold on.
One. The most important.
Let's see if it passes the test. Fail. Okay, we got done talking about all of our scare tactics to convince everybody at home to only buy ICE cable and work with Architechne and nobody else.
Yes,
That's been accomplished, I think.
indeed.
Just kidding. But you're here partially because there are a lot of changes at ICE cable.
Yeah.
And so, this is a great platform for you to tee some of those things up, talk about them, discuss them, and share with the world. I mean, if you got top secrets that you're going to be fired for, don't share those. But share everything else that you guys are working on and some of the things we can see in the rest of 2024.
Sure. It's a great question. And, Jeff, you recall in 2020 and 2021, this industry, we were having a hard time getting certain items, and logistics was,
Chips.
Yeah, I mean,
Chips were an issue.
Yeah, and
Not the potato.
and even cable, for instance, some competitors couldn't even get cable in, and so we wanted to mitigate a lot of those issues moving forward. The world is filled today with a lot of uncertainty, and so as of mid-December of 2023, we started to manufacture our CAT cable here domestically in the States, and so. Yeah, it's
a big deal.
It is. It
That's
is.
fantastic. And so how much more is this box going to cost me?
I'm glad you asked. There's actually no price increase. So they were able to manufacture the cable here domestically in the States, all without any price increases.
Awesome news about the manufacturing. Super excited to see when all that stuff comes to fruition so you can have everything in-house.
Yep.
But I've heard some things.
Really?
I've heard some things that are coming from ICE Cable. We carry a very specific luxury cable manufacturer. And I hear there's some things coming from ICE Cable that I'm getting a little excited about. Is there anything you can talk about, Tim, that doesn't get anybody calling me asking how I know these things?
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now, I'll just say that the powers that be are working on some high-end interconnects behind the scenes.
I like that.
Yeah. So
we carry some really nice stuff, so I'd love to A&B your product against some of that stuff and see how it comes through.
100%.
We have sold a pair of interconnect cables that were $26,000.
Wow.
Is that the price range you're talking about?
I don't think we're going to be that high up, but
Good.
Performance-wise, we certainly are, just like what we're known for. So,
Uh-oh.
we're
Here
looking.
They come.
This new line, this is going to be out around the Q3, Q4 timeframe, right around CEDIA. So if you are at CEDIA, make sure to swing by our booth and check it out.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure. All right, we've covered a lot today. We're going to conclude the episode of the Artisan Series and get this wrapped up here with Tim from ICE Cable. If I'm a consumer and I want to know a little bit more about ICE Cable, where can I go? What can I do?
You can get in touch with us at www.icecable.com. If you would like to reach us at sales@icecable.com, you can email us there as well.
Thanks for hanging out with Architechne, your artisans of technology. We look forward to serving you, whether it's a home build, a remodel, you just want to add or change some of the technology in your home. Continue to follow us on all of our social media channels. Continue to, of course, watch the Artisan Series on YouTube. And I'm going to go and pour some water on this box and stand on it. Hold on. Now I'm 240.
You're 240 pounds.
Wow.
That looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
That looks pretty good. We get a little flex. We get a little flex here. And yes, unfortunately, I'm 240. I just wear it well. I'm supposed to be like 220. What's wrong with me? Wow.